Let's go. What's going on, my beautiful people? I'm going to be super excited today after this phone call or this live video that we're doing right now because it's going to be very powerful. It's going to be with someone that I personally admire a lot and has brought a lot of great things for us. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to connect, and then I'm gonna invite Venna Jetti. The Venna Jetti that's coming to Avanza conference is bringing the fire. So I'm gonna be waiting for a few people to connect here in a few minutes. I know some of you guys typically at this time, you guys are, most of my audience is at this time working and stuff, but it's a great time for us to be able to connect. And we already have Martinez. Benito, what's up, brother? How's it going? We're going to be bringing one of our speakers today to this live video. So just so you guys know, today we're gonna be talking about transactions and billion-dollar transactions, like all the stuff that Venna Jetti is doing, is working on, these multifamily transactions, these multifamily properties. So just in about 2 minutes, or just 1 minute, I'll bring her to the live, and it will be exciting. We're gonna have her this year at Avanza conference, and I'm so pumped because one of the things that I do, guys, is real estate. And basically the one thing that I do is real estate. And so I like to have these conversations with people that have done more stuff than I have, people that have transacted more than I have transacted, people that are on a different level that I am not even in. So I'll say without further ado, let me invite her over so we can talk about multifamily and about real estate. So let me do that right this minute. For Venna to connect. Venna,
Hello.
hey, how's it
Uh,
going?
I'm good. Okay, give me 1 second because
Sure.
my phone is not actually working. It's not letting me see my screen.
No
Okay, I might have
problem.
to go and come right back. Give me 1 second. I'll come
Yeah,
right
yeah, that
back.
works. That works. Perfect. Well, guys, she's gonna be right back. What's up, brother? How's it going? Yeah, if you guys can just I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me very well. And so if you can put on the comments just something, just one word, one letter, something. I just want to confirm that you guys can hear me right because I'm gonna be bringing Vina to the live stream. Sophia, how's it going? It's been a while. We haven't spoken in a long time. I'm sure you're coming to Avanza, right, Sophie? Super excited to have all of you guys. I just want to confirm that you guys can hear me before I bring Vina again to the live stream. And loud and clear, she's back. Perfect. Okay, let me bring her up. I'm so pumped, man. It's cool. Vina, how are you?
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
I think so. Let's wait to see the what the
Okay.
people say on the
All
comments.
right. Amazing. Good to see you.
Hey, likewise. I'm so pumped for what's coming literally in 30 days from today. So
I
super
can't
excited.
wait.
I know
I'm so excited.
I've been telling people like, man, I'm so pumped. Every single speaker, we're so excited about every single one of them. But I want to know more about multifamily Livina. So you're the goat. You're
Yeah,
the one
I'm
to.
trying.
You're doing amazing. I can tell you that the
Thank
multifamily
you.
stuff is not easy, and transacting a lot of multiple millions and getting to billions is
Yeah.
something crazy. So let me
Yeah,
ask you,
it's
Vina.
been crazy. So
I
I'm
know.
excited to talk about it. And I love being in Orlando and getting to hang out with everybody there. The weather is going to be amazing. It's going to be the perfect event.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm so pumped. We were actually just today going over the actual
Oh,
things that we have here.
fancy.
You know that we already actually sold the diamond. It's already sold out.
On?
So it actually sold out before a month before the conference, which is insane.
You know what,
That means
though? I will say this that the people who bought Diamond are the really smart investors because this moment right now is where we have more opportunity than we've ever seen before in the multifamily space.
hmm,
And The people who are pouring gasoline on a fire by like buying diamond, by being in communities and mentorships and attending conferences, those are the people that are going to get the best deal flow, and they're going to have the most opportunity to make a lot of money in this part of the market cycle.
Damn. That's true. And typically this is what I've noticed, Vina. So I've been in a lot of conferences as a as an attendee. And when I've been in the back of the room, typically when I was like starting in real estate, I didn't know what to do. I was new. It's a different. It's maybe that's the reason why I sold out so quick. The ultra diamond, like literally the people that have front row access to
Love
speak
it.
with you guys. And this is not a cheap ticket. It was a $3,000 ticket, and people paid it like nothing because they know the value of networking with other people like them.
Exactly. Because if you think about it, right, 3,000 on its face might seem like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money for a lot of people.
Right.
But price is what you pay, value is what you get, right? And so you pay the 3,000, but if that 3,000 is going to make you $30,000, how many people wouldn't do that, right? Like everyone would
Absolutely.
pay that. So you just
Absolutely.
have to go in with the right mindset. You have to be prepared to take advantage of all the opportunity that's going to be in the room. I'm actually working on a presentation for your audience that is
Nice.
going to include like very, very current trends. So we'll be talking about
Mm,
real time 2025, not stuff that was working back in like 2020, 2021. It is a totally different market, totally different environment. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be giving you guys some resources so that you guys can go out and start buying multifamily assets. It's going to be amazing.
man, I'm gonna be the first one in that in that seat front row, also listening to everything that that you're gonna be sharing with us. I'm actually super pumped. We're doing a lot of land development deals. We're doing a lot of new construction projects, but multifamily space is where I want to get myself into more,
Yeah.
especially new projects. As a developer myself, I can get into the space of multifamily. I understand cap rates. I
Yeah.
understand performance. I understand how
Yeah.
to sell an NOIs and stuff like that, but getting mostly like the funding per se to buy all of these projects,
How do you do it?
setting up a fund and going
Hmm.
through that. I'm so pumped to listen
Yes.
to what you get to say. And I heard you speak at one of the conferences that I think that's where we met. And I was like mind blown. That's the day that I said, okay, if I
Thank you.
ever do a conference, I have to be one of my speakers has to be Vina
Oh,
Jetti.
well,
And so it's
thank you
happening
so
now.
much. I thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to do this. And I'm really looking forward to this too because my husband and kids are going to be joining me, which I
Ooh,
know is like a very rare sighting. Whenever I'm at these meetups, people are like, "Is your husband even a real person?" Yes, he is. You will get to meet him. You'll see my family, and then for especially the women in the room, but also just the parents in the room,
right.
you will see in real life how I balance both family and work obligations and growing my business and building my brand. You're going to see all of that kind of in real time here, um, where you'll see, my kids are going to be in the rooms and they will, my kids are 5. I have twin 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
They'll turn 6 like 2 weeks after this
Wow.
conference. And when they were at the toy drive that we did for Dan Fleischman, with Tia Minzoni and Bobby Lashley. We and Trent Shelton was there too, and my girls were there, and they were, the elves helping Santa and Mrs. Claus, who were actually my parents dressed up.
Oh,
They were like, they were going around and I was like, okay, in order to earn your TV time tonight, you have to go and raise money. And I mean, they didn't have a deal. They don't
right.
really know what it means, right? But they went to 5 adults in the room and they introduced themselves. They said, "Hi, I'm Via Jetti. I'm Bivana Jetti. Um, I'm a multifamily investor, and I wanted to know if you wanted to invest in an opportunity I have and make money together."
And they're 5 at the
They're
time.
5. They're 5. And it was really funny because some of the adults came up to me and they're like, "What are you teaching your kids here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like immediately panicking. I'm like, what did they say? Did they say something horrible?" And they're like, "They just came and tried to raise money from me." I was like, "Good,
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that's
the one thing investors need to know how to do is raise money. This is what
absolutely.
every business, real estate or not, needs to know in order to raise capital." And so I want them to feel comfortable asking people for money because you're not asking for money, you're presenting an
Right.
opportunity.
It's a win-win type of situation, and the
Exactly.
communicate it's not just the fact that they were presenting an opportunity, it's the communication that they were building. Like
Yes,
they're not afraid of going and talking to
exactly.
people, right? Like it's not just the fact of, hey, I'm bringing you value, but it's the fact of, hey, I want to talk to you because I know you got something
Yes.
that we mutually can benefit
Yes.
from. That's
Yeah,
insane.
and as they yeah,
That's
and as
great.
I get older, I'll keep building on it, but those are the types of things that I'm going to be talking about on stage at Avanza 2025. The conference link is what? Goavanza.com.
Avanza.com.
Okay,
That's the easiest way to get to
perfect.
the main page.
Before it gets sold out, because obviously Diamond's gone, so you already missed
Yeah,
that boat.
yeah, super
Are there
excited.
VIP
Honestly,
tickets left?
yeah, we got, I think, VIPs, we had less than 20 last time I checked. We have
Oh,
some generals and executives. So we're just selling out a lot of the tickets pretty fast.
yeah.
Initially, yeah.
What are the different levels? What do you
So
get
yeah,
with
so
each level?
we got the diamond pass,
Okay,
right? This is the one that
all
gives them
access.
back, yeah, all access plus
Okay,
dinner, lunch, all of that
love it.
stuff. VIP after party as well. The VIP, which is pretty much the same thing, but they don't have backstage access. So these are the people
Okay,
that will be able to, they still have the food, they still have the access, the access to the restaurant, I guess, where we're gonna be providing all the food and stuff. They don't have backstage access.
okay,
Then we have the executive, which I'm missing right here, the executive,
okay,
and then the general.
okay.
So the general is kind of like if you don't know what it is, if you feel like like you're not spending money on something that you don't know yet, just buy the general at least. But I highly recommend people just go for the highest that we will have right now. That's of the VIP,
You know,
the VIP.
I always tell people this when they ask me what's the biggest mistake I've made in my career.
Hmm.
It's not actually what most people think it is. Most people expect me to say something about an asset or like we underwrote this way or, whatever. That actually wasn't it. The single biggest mistake I've ever made in my career, and I've been doing this for a very long time, over a decade now. And like you said earlier, I've bought and sold $1 billion in multifamily. So I've done a lot of things, but the biggest mistake I made was I have never paid for a VIP ticket or a mentorship.
Wow.
And it's because I'm stupid. That's why. Because whenever I would be going to like conferences or whatever, I was living in this like intense scarcity where I was like, I don't really need to pay you 10 grand or 20 grand or
Mm,
3 grand or whatever it costs
mm,
to learn about NOI, to learn about,
mm,
whatever. And I was right. I didn't. I can Google that. You guys can chat GPT all of that information for free. That's not what the value is, though.
mm.
I'm now in these rooms because I'm invited into them, right? Like now I've done it the long, scenic, hard route. I've
Right.
taken a lot of time, energy, effort. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but now I have experience to share. So I get invited to these rooms where I get to speak and train and teach. And the moment I walked into a true VIP room, I went, oh my gosh, Vina, you're so stupid.
For
You
not,
thought
yeah,
that the education was what was behind the cost of this ticket. That's not what it is. It's the people, it's the
is the
partnerships,
people.
it's the experience, it is the mindset. These are your future partners, these are your future investors. Those are the people that have also invested in themselves that are there on the other side of that paywall. That's what you're paying for is the network. It's the easy button. And people don't
Absolutely.
realize that.
Absolutely. You know what? I went to it was a mastermind in Mexico about 2.5 years ago, and I paid a lot of money for that mastermind, like 10 grand. And it was like a 3 day event, and I'm there, right? Like I'm learning about, all of these. Back then, I wasn't doing content. I
Yeah.
wasn't doing, of course, a conference. I was only doing real estate, and I happened to have $10,000, and I'm like, I'm just gonna pay it. I'm just gonna go. I
You're
went there.
smarter than me.
I went there and I can tell you, Vina, the whole thing was education. It was very valuable. I feel like, a notebook like this, full of like
Sure.
information and everything. But there was one guy. He came to me. He approached me. He's like, "Hey, I'm also from Florida." I'm like, "Amazing. Let's connect." And he said, "Hey, man, let me get your Instagram." And I give him my Instagram. He goes to my Instagram. He's like, "Why are you not posting on Instagram?" I'm like, "Well, I just don't post on Instagram."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, no, no, bro, you have to do this." And he gave me like some directions, right? Like he's like, "Bro, if you're not known, you're not flown," like Grant Cardone says. And he started kind of like telling me stuff. And then post the event, we still continue connecting, right? Like he was giving me advice. He was telling me he had a big brand, right? Like he was
Yeah.
very, very followed. And he inspired me to start doing more of, personal brand in social
Yep.
media. And
Yep.
that's the biggest thing that I got from that, plus the value of the knowledge. But just the fact that he was telling me, like, bro, you got to start posting, you got to start, like, there, if you're not there, your competitors and everybody else is going to start taking your business over. That was just one of the things. Then I went to another conference later, and actually, someone that is connected right now, Dr. Kairos, he's a good friend of mine now. What happened with him is I met him at a conference as well in Tampa, and I met him there, and I'm like, man, I want to do this thing for Latinos. I want to do this thing for like the minorities, right? Like there is a lot of already conferences, like the normal stuff, but I want to do something that's cool for like a lot of us that don't have the same opportunities, and especially for the people that came from other countries, not necessarily that were
Yes.
born and raised in America, right? And he goes and says, man, let's do it, let's get it done, like what do you need? And we started kind of like putting some thoughts together, and he started helping my community, and it's been
I
a
love
tremendous
that.
blessing since there.
Oh
So
my gosh, I love that.
yeah, so we,
See the power of being in the right room.
the right room, and just meeting one person can change your life.
Yeah,
Meeting one
absolutely.
person can change your life, and I'm so excited, honestly. Like I said, when I met you at that conference, I'm like, okay, I have to bring Vina. One day we're gonna do a conference. It's gonna be for these, people coming from, typically most of my audience are like immigrants coming from other nations and other countries, and they understand the language, they understand what we're
Yeah.
doing and everything, but it's like they want to feel a part of a group.
Yeah.
It's like we have this normal stuff here that's been happening in the US, which is fine, right? Like
Yeah.
that's their audience. But it's like it's the rest of us, like all the
Sure.
people that we want to get going, but we don't have the connections, I guess.
You probably
So super excited.
do, actually. That's a misconception. You probably do have the connections. You just don't know how to find out if they are real
Hmm.
connections, right? And you have people that are coming will learn how to cultivate and create those networks. So even if you're not someone that was born with like a Kennedy or Rockefeller last name, it's okay. You can still do this. I did it without a famous last name too, right? I'm also the daughter of immigrants. So I can't, my parents came here with $26 and a dream and a hope for a better future for my sister and I. And, it's a very relatable story, probably for every immigrant or a child of immigrants that's going to be in the room. But you probably have a lot of money in your network. You just don't know how to tap into it yet. I didn't
Absolutely.
either when I first started. We're going to teach you that.
Absolutely. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I cannot wait for Avanza, honestly. And like I said, I'm gonna be the first one. Yes, I'm hosting the whole thing, but it doesn't matter to me. It's like I want to be there. I want to be able to connect with you and other people,
Yes.
and also learn from you guys. Honestly, like I said, it's like someone said here in the comments. Contracts are contacts, or contacts become contracts, and that is true.
Yeah.
Like if people don't know you, people will do business with people that they know, like, and
Know,
trust,
like, and trust. Yep.
right? So
Know, like,
it's
and
just like
trust.
let's make it to come to the conference. You'll be I'm so excited, like I said. And I want to
Mhm.
ask you, I see that you're kind of like at apartment complex right now,
I'm
Vina.
actually not. I'm in my neighborhood. I'm
Oh, I
just
see.
so whenever I get an opportunity to like not be on my computer, so when I'm doing a live or I'm shooting content, I try to walk in my neighborhood I call it exercise snacking. Just to, get my body
I like.
moving a little bit. And I just ate a sandwich, so I feel like kind of gross. So I'm like, I'm gonna walk during this. But now it's like about to rain here, so I'm
Oh,
like pacing back and forth in my house, in front of my house.
right. You live in Texas, right, Vina?
I do. I live in Frisco. So I actually did buy an apartment complex here last year, Q4 of last year. I bought a $52 million, 168 unit apartment complex. I would say it's like a class A minus, B
Okay.
plus, A minus. Beautiful asset. Um, and actually, a funny story about it is so we bought it, and I was at a conference in Florida, actually. And I was talking to one of the attendees. I spoke at this conference. So I was talking to one of the attendees, and I was like, oh, okay, where are you from? And they're like, oh, I'm in Addison. I was like, oh, amazing. I just bought an apartment complex there.
Just like
And
another day.
yeah, right. I was like telling them how I bought this apartment complex. I really love this area. And he goes, oh, okay, I live in an apartment there. I go, which apartment? And he goes, the courts of entry. I was like, I just bought that. I own that
Oh, he
asset.
lived in there.
He lived there.
Oh, he's one of
He's
your
one of my
tenants.
residents. Yes. Yes, and it didn't even occur to me, but it makes sense because it's a really nice high quality asset. And
Right.
he was new to the game, looking to get started. And I was like, what a cool moment to like be living in an apartment complex and then getting to learn in real time how to buy the apartment complex that you actually live in.
Oh my God. I
So,
cannot.
so
I
cool.
can. So do you currently own anything in do you own most of your assets in the state of Texas, or do you own
No,
anything in other
I
states?
have two here in Texas. I own in Phoenix. I own in North Carolina and I own in Atlanta currently. I actually just sold my last one in Orlando in Melbourne. I used to own Princeton Park. We bought it for 34 or 35 million. This was years ago. This was back in 2019. So 6 years ago, I bought it. And then we sold it for, gosh, I can't remember what the exit was, like 40, 42 million ish
Oof.
was the exit. So we sold that for 42 million after about a little over 4 years. So I've owned a
Wow.
lot in Florida. I used to also own the Bentley in Maitland.
Wait, the Bentley, it's I'm in Maitland actually. I know the building. You used to own it?
And I used to own it. So I bought that again years ago for how much did I
This
pay?
is insane. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
I bought it for 51.7 million and I sold it for 63 or 64 million. After
Right.
about 3.5, 4 years. So, we made investors a bunch of money. Both those were great assets, but, it's time to exit them. So
Yeah.
we sold both those.
Right. Let me ask you one question. A lot of people are gonna ask the same. And how can someone like you have massive success, right?
Mhm.
Like that's already a fact. Now, how can someone? What would be your advice on how can someone start on some of that, Vina? Like people are seeing this massive success that you have had, and you're very young as well. And congrats
Yeah,
for all this success.
thank
That's the
you.
reason why I'm excited for Vina because she's gonna
Thank
bring the
you.
fire. She's gonna provide all the info, and people are gonna connect because they're not gonna feel it's like, oh, it's a 70-year-old person that is 50 years of work,
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying, like it's like
yeah,
you're very young. They can accomplish something similar if they get to work. I'm sure it hasn't been easy, but what would be the
yeah.
first step to get into starting to acquire these big assets?
Yeah. Okay. So, number one is your mindset. You have to understand that it is going to be hard. Not everybody will do it because it's a lot of work. But if you put in the time, energy, and effort, it is absolutely possible. Like, I am not special. I am not smarter than the rest of you. I've just been willing to work really hard and make a lot of sacrifices that many people won't. And I deal with the pressure and the stress. And it's okay if that's not for you, or if you can't make that, that's okay, but that's what it took for me to get here. So number one is your mindset. I work with Rosie Noel. She's the Rosie Noel on Instagram. I actually work with her 3 times a week. That's how much I do my mindset work. And I try to work with
Wow.
her 5 times a week. So I try to start every Monday through Friday off with talking to her. After that,
Wow.
right, once you get the mindset down and you're like, oh, okay, wait, this is possible for people like you and I, because it is. I see it happen over and over and over. I've helped many people buy their first deal. uh, so after that, it's learning the language of multifamily. So
Mm.
multifamily is not like single family where you're gonna go and you're gonna call a realtor and be like, "Hey, interested in anything under 500K in this area, 4 bedrooms, 3 bed." That's not how it's gonna work in multifamily. If you call a multifamily broker that you don't have a warm relationship, hey, Mr. Broker, I want to buy anything around $10 million and I want, at least 50 units, right?
Right.
You are not going to get a response. Probably what's going to happen is the broker's going to go, okay, you don't sound like a serious investor, so show me a proof of funds. Okay. I've never been
Hmm.
asked for a proof of funds on any deal that I've ever gone after because who has $100 million liquid?
Yeah,
Literally
it make it,
nobody.
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. Yep. So you have to learn the language. So what you would say instead is something like, "Hey, Mr. Broker, I'm Venna Jetti. I'm the founding partner of Vive Funds. We target Class B product in, whatever market they're in. So in Orlando, the Class B product we target, we like to have like a value add, nothing with too heavy of a lift, right? So you hear me saying these words that are triggering credibility because as a broker, when you hear me say the word product instead of property or building, you're like, oh, this is someone who's familiar with institutions. She obviously knows something about what she's talking about, right? Our
Right.
cap rate target, our entry cap rate that we like to be at is around 5.5 or whatever that looks like, right? So saying these words and coming out of the gate really strong and confident and comfortable saying them is a really great way to establish credibility when you're first starting out and you don't have a track record yet.
Hmm.
The third thing that you need to do if you're brand new is understand who all the players are and what role you're going to play, and then go find partners, find a community, find partners that you can work with to get a deal done. Because multifamily is definitely a team sport.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, real estate in
So,
general is just like you can. People will say, "Well, I can do it on my own. I'm my own boss," whatever they want to say. But you need even if you're doing a small project where, let's say a flip, you still need a hard money lender. Even if you fund it yourself, you still need a
yep.
team to close
Yeah.
the property, to sell the property. Is It's like you still need a team. Like you still need to talk to people.
It
Like you
takes a
said with your kids, like you
village.
have to. It takes communications and stuff. Now, let me ask you. This is basically what you're bringing at Avanza. Like you're gonna be going over like
Yep.
your success, how you did it, and how people can do the same.
Yep, I'm gonna give you guys, I'm actually just gonna give you a lot of my secrets and hacks and tips and tricks. I'm just gonna give it to you because
Let's
why
go.
do you have to go and figure it out? I already know the things that work and don't work. I've failed many times. You don't have to do the same thing. So I am putting it together special for your audience where I'm gonna give you guys actionable tips and tricks and ways that you can get started investing in multifamily. It's gonna be geared toward beginners, but I'm also going to share things that will be useful for someone trying to get their fourth or fifth or 10th or 12th deal.
Amazing, Lina. I'm so excited, so pumped.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much.
Thank you.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for your presentation, for your pitch, for what you're going to be bringing to
Me too.
Avanza, and super excited. Before you go, let me ask you one last question, Lina.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does Avanza mean to you? That's
Oh
something
my
that I
gosh.
always ask my that's something that I always ask my I guess my guest, because I want to know kind of like what is your interpretation to the word Avanza or to these that we're putting together, right?
Okay,
And
so
there's not a right or wrong. It's just like what is your
does
interpretation?
Avanza mean something? Does it have a meaning?
Well, it does in Spanish. It means like
Yeah.
advancing, right? Like it's
Okay.
just like keep going, I guess. Keep
Okay, that's
pushing.
what I thought. So it's funny because at first, when I was trying to grab the link to share with my audience, because I know that my community is definitely going to want to be in this room. So I was trying to share it with them before everybody else got it and everything got sold out. But when I Googled it, at first it kept coming up with Toyota Avanza because apparently
Oh.
it's a type of Toyota. And I was like, no, this is not it. Am I spelling it wrong? Okay, so for me, though, what this event specifically represents is the perfect opportunity for people to come out. It's summertime. Bring your kids, bring your family. It's Orlando, like the friendliest, family friendliest city on the face of the planet. Come hang out, put your kids, in the pool with my kids, let, your spouses go hang out, get the nanny, let them go hang out. We'll all come, we'll learn together. Our kids will learn and grow from each other. I love having my kids around other entrepreneur children because the mindset is different. The way we talk to our
Absolutely.
kids is different, and I want to enrich their lives. So I love that aspect of it. Love Orlando. I know Carlos Reyes, I think I saw him speaking there
Yeah,
now too, which
he
is
is.
amazing.
He is. Yeah, we
He's a
have
friend
Mark
of mine.
Shapiro. Mark Shapiro as well. He's big in the Miami
Love it.
market as
Yep.
well as a developer. Yeah.
Yep. I love it. And I saw all the other speakers. So, really, for me, more than just being able to share the things that I've learned and speak and get to meet everybody, really, I'm excited to learn from all the other investors there because this is how I grow too. And this is how the most successful people grow is by being around high level operators. So you're not going to catch me like coming in, speaking, and then leaving. I'm going to be there. You're going to see me. I'll be, in the backstage with the diamond people hanging out, answering questions. If you guys have questions, bring them for me because I am going to be there to help you. And don't be afraid. Come talk to me. I don't bite, I promise. We can take a picture. We can put out social media content together. We can shoot some videos for your socials. Somebody helped me do that once when I was starting to. I'm happy to pay it forward. So come find me there.
Awesome.
Come say hello. And I'm really excited for this. So thank you for including me and having me.
Absolutely, Vina. We're honored to have you. I'm so excited, so pumped. Honestly, thank you. Thank you for everything that you have done for other people as well. This
Thank
is
you.
not just about Avanza itself, it's about the stuff that you've done and what brought you to this point. So it's
Yes.
not the success is not just related to money, it's also related to how many
You
people's life you've
help.
changed and how many people's lives you've impacted. So I'm super excited,
Absolutely.
Vina. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
kind words. Thank you for telling me and
Thank
inspiring us
you.
and motivating us and all that stuff. So I cannot wait to see you. And just for the people that are connected right now, if you haven't purchased your ticket, the link is goavanza.com. Simple. Go
Yes.
Avanza. That's Avanza, and that's avanza.com,
Sure.
and then you can get your ticket. Like I said, the diamonds are already sold out, so we only have VIPs, generals, and executives. Vina, thank you
Don't.
so much. So pumped to see you at Avanza, and
All
highly
right. I
appreciate you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. I just dropped the link in the chat here. So if you guys
Perfect.
didn't go get your ticket,
They can,
go grab it.
yeah, they can take a screenshot of that, and they can go and get the ticket.
Perfect.
Vina, thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Thank you.
Anderson. See you soon.
You have a good one. See you too.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye. Okay, guys, right before I go, just once again, Vina dropped the link right here. GoAvanza.com. Make sure that you get your ticket. You already heard her. She has a ton of success in real estate and multifamily. And the rest of the speakers, guys, the rest of the speakers have a lot of success as well. So make sure that you grab your ticket. They're selling out super, super fast. I promise you that we're going to have a packed conference. It's going to be filled with value. We're so excited to have you guys at Avanza. Bring your game on and bring the fire because we're going to bring the fire ourselves. The three, well, this one is already sold out. So the two plus the executive that we have, it's selling out quick. The other thing that I was wanting to say, we're going to be creating a group, a WhatsApp group, where you're going to be getting all the information. This is before anybody out there gets to see anything about Avanza. You get to see it first, as far as like who are the next speakers that we're announcing, because we're announcing new speakers every single day, and all the value that they're bringing, all the links with value, like all the Vina was talking about tools and stuff that she will be sharing that has worked for her. All of that is going to be dropped on the WhatsApp group. So I want to make sure that you guys tap into the WhatsApp group. And I'm going to be posting later today a link on how you can access that WhatsApp group. Do not miss it. The WhatsApp group is going to have a ton of information, tools, and resources that you need before and after Avanza. So thank you guys. Hope to see you at Avanza. Get your ticket. They're selling quick. And I'll see you next June 21st here in Orlando, Florida. Let's go.